What's up, YouTube? Well, it finally happened. We got the download a couple days ago. Actually, no. Last night, way early in the morning. It was a little after, or a little before, I should say. I'll look at the time. Probably about 12 a.m., somewhere in that range. I had saw the download coming on my phone, and I was blown away. I'm like, no way this is happening. So yeah, 12.3. Just want to let everybody know. Right now we are driving navigation on 2023.44-4014828. And then you can see, obviously, above full self-driving beta software, version 12.3. So I was complaining a lot the last few days. I'm just going to throw in a place I want to go to right now, and we're going to see how this goes. Probably take us about 15-20 minutes, somewhere in that range. Driving along a road here in New Jersey, and we're just gonna talk a little bit. So yeah, this came through. I was pretty impressed with the first initial drives that I had. I'm gonna engage it right now. I'm just driving along. This is taking control right now, so you can see, and we'll talk about the auto speed and whatnot that we're currently in. But I'm not wearing any sunglasses. I'm just letting it drive itself. I am fully engaged. You can see right here that I am fully engaged. This is a kind of cool street that I'm on right now. It's a nice windy road, but it does have some maximum speeds, and as far as like speed limit and whatnot. And I'll tell you when I put on my push on the gas if I have to, or any kind of disengagements or anything like that, as we got a car pulling right in front of us, no big deal. And I'm also going to talk about some other things that I've ranted about forever that I noticed that's happening right now, especially that this new download came, that probably changed my outlook completely. Thank God. Thank you, Elon, for doing this, and for the Tesla AI team, and where we stand with this software. And obviously it keeps upgrading, and it keeps, giving us more and more and more. But right now, my biggest complaints have always been, and if you've watched my YouTube channel, my biggest complaints have always been the objects around in the area that are making my car, specifically here in New Jersey, that it's been very difficult for this car, per se, for driving. And what I mean by that is, you can see there's a blue nag that comes across the top. Happens in all the Teslas. This is all about the safety features that they have that are NHTSA has imposed on Tesla, as well, as far as making sure, obviously for us, that we're behind the wheel, we're paying attention, and all the ins and outs of full self-driving, per se. But my eyes are glued straight ahead. So the biggest takeaways from this going forward and where we stand, there's a couple of different things that I've noticed, especially for my car and the complaints that I've had, as I've said, and a couple of them are glaring. And I'm so thrilled, mostly because I was at the end of just saying, screw it, I'm done with it, I've had enough. We're not making any progress at all as we pull up to a stop sign right here, and also a light, which is kind of cool, because we have to stop. Obviously that we did, and you can see that the wheel is jerking just a tad, not much, but we have to get to the left here, so the car is going to pull over. It's just the natural, I don't even know how to say this. Right now we're on a major highway that's about 55 miles an hour. We're doing 53 with this auto logged on, and we'll talk about that. But I don't know how to tell you that right there in the past, that specific corner would have driven this car nuts. Meaning a couple of things. One is that the wheel would jerk back and forth. I wouldn't even know what to do. You would want to tell it to disengage and do whatever. I just let it go now and kind of see what the car's doing and see if anything's been improved. And I can't even tell you, just that little bit of non-jerky wheel and the smoothness and things just makes you feel a lot more comfortable in the car. And for me, that's something that I was looking for. I'm looking for the things that are, as human beings, we're looking for all the little things. Like that car pulling over to the right now. My car, see now how it just did the little, it let us be aware of the car pulling up, but that car was going off. This car particularly would have slammed on the brakes so hard, it's not even funny. And that's what drove me nuts. I did another change on my car, as we get another little blue nag, to help in that situation as well, that I think, as I've stated in previous videos, that I think helped a lot as we're pulling up to a red light right here, and has helped a lot. But the biggest things that have gone on are those little nags that are outside of this, the car seeing so many different things and, you know, jerking this way, jerking that way, or doing a hard brake or not doing a hard brake. And that's what was so frustrating on the last version. And I was getting to the end where I just said, like, this car right here is turning right. Right now, the car just, little brake, nothing major, let the car go. Boom. That's what we wanted to see. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. I'm blown away that it actually made such a big difference. And excuse me if sometimes I feel like I'm a little too excited, but I am. This morning, I told my girlfriend when I got back home, I said, you know what, it almost brought me to tears this morning. And it's the little things, the littlest things that this did to me for my confidence, and we're going in the right direction. And granted, yes, there's going to be times when this car's I'm going to have to disengage somewhere along the line here. You know, hopefully I don't have to. But the progress is so big and so huge that it's given me so much confidence in where we're at that I feel so much better about recommending it to people. I feel so much better that now when I take somebody in the car and, you know, if I'm drinking something, as I've said before, where I'd be drinking a hot coffee and I don't know if the car's going to slam on the brakes, I was so careful about taking a sip. You know, if this continues and this is the way that we're going to be and how we're going to move forward, my God, we're so close. I could just feel it. But we're going to go through this one area. I'm hoping that this navigation takes us there. If not, then I'm going to reroute it. Let me see if, yeah, I'm going to reroute it. And we're going to go a different way to get to this place. I just threw in there this place called Bagel Talk by me. It's in Marlboro, and up by this next light, I'm going to make the right and take a different way, because I want you to be able to see where I was so happy this morning. I was brought to tears by just the excitement that I had as I was going across this one light. And it's been giving me trouble forever. And I just get so sick of it. I'm just like, I'm not going to put it on. I'm going to turn it off. And I get so sick of it that this morning I was like, we're getting there. And we're driving. And I'm like, it's not going to do it. It's not going to do it. Then all of a sudden it did it. And I was just like, this is what I wanted. It's the little things. You know, the early thing, which is really important. We're going straight right now, but I'm going to take this off. We're going to go into this U-turn to go back the other way. But what I noticed that really made me really happy too was the approach to the lights have been smoother. The approach after the light of getting up to speed improved dramatically. So I'm going to disengage here just for 1 second. I want to get into this U-turn, and I'm going to get off here to the right, and then I'll re-engage once we get into the turn here, and it'll reroute me. Hopefully it'll reroute me across. And as we, I could have did it on the screen. I didn't want to fool around with it right now, but I just wanted to kind of show you the direction that we're going to take here. We're going to go across this road right here, and in another way, I could have rerouted up here, but I didn't really want to mess around while I was driving, so I just did it this way instead. But we're going to be going straight here, and we're going to be taking a different route across this highway right here, going straight. Let me see if I can, while we're stopped, let's see if we could do a different reroute here as we go. Let's see here. We got scores. Now they're taking us in a different way. All right, so we're just going to wait. As soon as we can cross this light, then I'm going to re-engage it. Again, right now I'm not in full self-driving. As you can tell, there's no blue line here. And the thing that I was explaining was that when we approach the lights and when we're, you know, coming to accelerate and to decelerate and then regenerative braking taking over, and all of those things are now smooth. Like the car just feels natural. Before it felt, as I don't know if it's a lot of people, but most people felt like it was more computer-like, where you get the herky jerky, you get the wheels that are so where it becomes such a problem of as you're driving, the people behind you, somebody beeping at you, somebody doing things. It really makes it for a really bad experience, And I'm gonna re-engage right here. So now we're on full self-driving. As we pick up speed. This is a new light by my house that we are they're putting in. This light here used to be, as they put in a new development over here, this used to be covered with bags, and the car recognized it, but it used to stop there even because of stoplight. And you can see here, so now there's a screwed up lane here. It's trying to find the lane here, but it kept to the right of the white line, which is on the right side, which is really good. So as we're going a little speed here, you can see that up on top here, speed limit is 45. We're doing 44, 45. So now it's catching up. So the speed on the auto, it's allowing it under the conditions to get faster, slower, to ride smoother. Once you tap, now I've seen a couple of complaints that, it's so slow, whatever. Look, we're in control of our cars. You want to go faster? I get it. You don't want to touch anything. Nobody wants to touch anything. But we're driving our cars right now. Okay? This is what gets me so frustrated with people and so pissed off at people. I'm here from the East Coast, so we talk a little bit differently, so forgive me if you're watching this from the left coast there and in California or wherever. But this is how we are over here. We do things a little bit differently here on this side, where my attitude is that the car we're in control of. They tell you this when you sign up for the service. You pay attention to the road. You do everything that is normal for driving. You don't take your eyes off the road, sit down and text, and do all the things that are going to get you in trouble and that are going to be a pain in the you-know-what. Just pay attention. If the car needs a little nudge, your foot is there for a reason. Give the car a nudge. Yes, we're not at full autonomous and all that kind of stuff as we're making a right at this light right here. Great, we're stopping. Now you can also see, if I talk too fast, just tell me in the comments. By the way, like the video if you like what I'm showing you and whatnot, and also share it if you can. I want to get my subscribers up. But this is something that now we're sitting at this light. We're the first ones up here. We're well behind the line here. You could see. You could see that we're well behind where the area is. Now, I could just nudge it. If somebody's behind me and they're beeping, they want to go make the right turn. The car right now, here, you can make a right on red. But it's obviously seeing there's a lot of cars on the left-hand side here. I'm not doing anything to the car. It's just watching and watching and watching. And I think it's at some point it's gonna wind up taking its next route, which is is looking at just go, just handle it. Sometimes I think that the car needs that extra little nudge to help. Now look at that, how fast that speed got up there. We're supposed to be doing 30 right now. We're going into a 40-mile-an-hour speed zone. But that speed, because there's nobody around us, is taking into conditions, apparently, from what it's saying and from what I'm reading, the conditions that are all around, whether the cars in front of us are going faster to keep up with the speed of traffic. That's important. But as we sit at that light, yeah, you may need to nudge the car. You nudge the car. It's not, I get it, disengagements, this thing, that thing, but you're driving the car. The car's doing it for you. You're there. You don't really want to be a nuisance to other people on the road. We want to be respectful to everybody else on the road. Not everybody's driving in full self-driving right now. But we, as the drivers of this car, we take ownership and take care of how we drive on the road. And we're aggressive here in this area. I'm on full assertiveness right now. I got full lane change, the whole 9 yards, that where we're aggressive. And it's just different. I watch the videos in California and videos from other areas. Yeah, I get it. Some people do want to, kind of let the car just run itself and be all nonchalant. It's not how it is here. You got to get out of the way. If you don't get out of the way, you're going to tick off some people and you're going to wind up with somebody throwing something at you out the window. It's just the way it is around here. I don't know what to tell you. But I let the car do itself. If I have to really push on the gas or do something like that, I would tell you. But you're in control. Always remember that. We are in control. Let me see if I have I'm up to speed on here. We're good there. Okay. So we're going to be coming up to a light and coming up into an area. This is where I was blown away this morning. I just want to see how much time. Okay, 15 minutes. I'm going to keep it at like 20, 24 minutes. So when we get past this light over here, now the good things have been that I noticed was that the car was doing the turn signals so much faster, so much before, so much faster. It's thinking that you're turning. Like, that's one thing I've been crying out for a long time, was that we're coming up to the light. Why don't you have the blinker on? You're waiting until we actually get into the turn to turn the blinker on. And if we're going to be making a right-hand turn up here somewheres, just make that right-hand turn. Just do it. And it's weird. So we're coming up to this light over here. So let's see how far in advance, now that we're coming around this turn here. Real natural, real smooth. I'm still obviously just driving with the car. No problems, no issues. The car tells you when they want to go faster, wants to go slower. It's a dream right now. So now let's see how fast. So we would wait a while to turn on the. Now look how far away we were from turning on that blinker, and that's the way you should do it as a normal driver and as humans do. You turn the blinker on way in advance. You want the guy behind you, the person in front of you, to know where you're going, not the last second. That's just a JO move. We're making a left here, and before, when this happened this morning, yesterday, we made this left-hand turn here, real natural. There's a car coming in right here. Just no herky-jerky moves. We're just turning natural. This road kind of made where we're going a little bit slower, but now we're going to get up to speed a little bit. Speed limit here is 40. We're on auto. Right now it's doing 30. We should be going a little bit faster, but I'll let the car just drive. There's nobody behind me. I'll let the car drive, feel it out. Still get a little blue nags. And as we drive a little bit faster here in this area, trying to see if I have any. I don't. Something's in my bag, but I don't have anything in my bag. I forgot my water. So we're just driving normal, and the speed is obviously, there's nobody around. You don't want to be doing 100 miles an hour down the road. Speed limit's 35. That's what we're doing. There's nobody in front of me. Just a normal, regular drive. Car's not herky-jerky. You don't want to say that it's boring, but you just want to make sure you're still in control of, if God forbid, if something happens, the car does take a left, take a right, whatever. You don't know, but you're in control of it. My it's pointed forward. I do get the nags every once in a while. It is a pain in the butt. I get it. I hope someday they fix that. But for right now, we got to deal with it. And we're coming up to the light that this morning I was blown away by. I want to see if it does it again. Or yesterday. I want to see if it does it again. And then we'll end the video as we go past through here. And then I'll be making another video soon. But as we approach this light over here, so there's a three-way light here. You can make a left, you can make a right, and you can go straight. You can also go straight in the right lane. What this car did was it found a way to kind of go around everybody, go through the light. Before, it would just sit there in the middle of the lane. It would just jerk back and forth, didn't know which way to go. And it was very hard to get across, and it didn't do anything for me going across the light here. The road, as you can tell here, also our lanes are not pearly white. Right now there's a green light up there, so I'm hoping that the car figures out which way it wants to go, if it wants to stop, if it wants to go. So you can see there's three lanes, one on the far left. This one in the middle can make a left or go straight. So it's choosing to this time to go in the straight lane here. Perfect. Now it's going to stop. Beautiful. There you go. Okay. Chose to stop. Didn't want to go through it. So now going through this light, as you could tell here, that even on the right-hand side too, if you look at the way the street is, there's kind of a curl, okay? And in the right lane, she can also go straight. But the problem is this lane goes into the right lane. It goes into my lane. So it's kind of weird. Like, if you can go straight here, yesterday what it did was it went straight, but it actually went over into this lane. Put on the blinker. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful move. So right now it's choosing to go straight. And we're on that path because, as you can tell, we're going straight right here. And it'll stay in this left-hand side lane here. But she can also come over a little bit into our lane. And you'll see it'll be a merge kind of thing. But it was very exciting to see it, because before it would stop at this light, it would just herky-jerky, didn't know which way to go, because there's no lane, there's nothing in here. It's all plain, you know? It's got one lane going this way, one lane going this way. So it's got to figure out what to do. And I know we're going straight, but it's got to figure out where that fine line is. And it does without somebody in front of us. And the car is kind of going that way. Let's see what it does here. I think it'll be nice and smooth, to be honest with you. Let's see. Has everybody making a right over there? You can see the cars making a right over there. Looks good. There you go, Tesla. Take it on. Now, what the car used to do, now again, look, you can see, like, see how weird it is? It's just a weird lane change. And no herky-jerky, no nothing. Kind of had to figure it out, but it was beautiful. Before, it would jam the brakes when that girl was making a right. I mean, I just can't tell you how excited I am for that. This road is 25 miles an hour, mostly because a little girl had gotten killed over here. The parents went to the town. They changed the speed limit on the street. I agreed. There was so much speeding because the street is just humongous, and they changed it. It used to be 40, went down to 35, then went down to 25, and now it's 25. And now everybody's got to do the speed limit. Me personally, I would have liked for them to put the speed bumps in the middle of the street here. As you get past here, you go up a little bit further. It changes back to 35. So it would have been better to kind of just slow everybody down here. But they changed it to 25. And the cops do sit out here with radar all the time. So right now, we're almost up at the 35 mile an hour. It's going to change over. You'll see the change, 35. Now, it would wait till after we've gone past the speed sign. That changed way before it. So that was very good, too. I didn't notice that the last time. So we are approximately 23 minutes in. All right, good. So we're taking a ride up here. I did notice that it is avoiding some of the potholes, but not many. These streets over here are very wide. So it's trying to find its way, hugging its way onto the left-hand side of the lane here to kind of break off the street a little bit, because you can see this is basically like a two-lane street in a way. Now it's noticing that there's nobody around. The car sped up to 39 miles an hour in a 35 mile an hour zone. I feel comfortable with that. I'm good with that. Nobody around, nobody pushing me from behind, and it's going a little bit quicker. And that's what we want to see. You want to see the car feel out what you're doing now, you know? And I would be going 40 right now at 38, 40 miles an hour. Driving kind of in the middle of the road. No issues, no problems, you know? As you can tell, I'm still driving with, obviously with no hands, and I'm not doing anything as far as the speed's concerned. So, nice little successful drive here. Yeah, there's more challenging things that this car could probably be doing somewhere within the neighborhoods, and I'll be showing you that as well. But I wanted to show you some first impressions of it. And the most important thing to me was that the car just feels like it's naturally driving now, as opposed to being a computer before. And I think that's the biggest hurdle for me. And it's not taking on the objects as before, where I made the changes in here. I did go under the autopilot as I'm driving right now, just showing you a couple things. Under the autopilot, And when you're setting up your car, you're going to do it as the way you want to do it. And then I was so frustrated, I needed to find some things here to know, all right, what's going on here? As we are avoiding all of these potholes on the right-hand side, you can see the car's kind of like leaning over. I don't know if it's doing it naturally, but yeah, I wouldn't be driving on the right-hand side there. So in your car, you have this too. Scroll all the way down to the bottom of the autopilot, and you'll be able to tell here that there is on the bottom, there's something called obstacle awareness acceleration. And what I'd like for you to do is, if you're having some issues, and where I've had the same issues before, which is that a lot of objects that were thrown at the car, it seemed like the car just wanted to jerk all the time, no matter what. Slam on the brakes. Hard braking was always a big factor for me, and it was very frustrating. This here, when I turned it off, I did some, not really research, I did it on my own. As we're now, look where we're going here, you can see that the lane, we used to be able to pull into this lane before the actual turn signal will go on, and it did it way before we got into the turn. That is what we want to see. Great progress. That's so good. So happy with that. And you just can't really, the excitement that I get is that I'm just so glad that we've gotten past all of those things. So now we're into where the car just feels really smooth, you know. But if you look over here, as we're sitting at the light, I'll just look over to the side here. It's called obstacle aware acceleration. If you push the info button, it tells you that it automatically limits the acceleration and may apply brakes if any obstacle is detected in front of your vehicle while driving at low speeds. So before, I always felt that when things gotten, as you can see here, we're just making a left, nice and natural, no herky-jerky. Let's see if we pick up speed. Boom, pick up the speed. There you go, 30, 35, 40. Great. You could tell that under this obstacle aware, if you had this on, now I always had it on. And I was just fooling around with it one day and looking at it, and checking those info buttons, read through those things. It will help you set up your car the way you want it to be. I turned it off. It still collects the objects. You'll see, like if a car's pulling out and you notice it still sees it. It's all the little things. A car coming onto the road, you know, naturally coming onto the road, it would slam on its brakes. I don't know why. I guess it was more or less fearing an obstacle coming on. As we look ahead here, you can see there's a light up here. Let's see how far in advance it's going to do the turn signal. I would have already put it on, but let's see how fast. There you go. It's thinking like I'm thinking. But now we're turning into here. And before, what I want to show you is that everybody's talking about the cars parking themselves and all that kind of stuff. We're going to see as we get into this little strip mall here that the car on its own pulled into the strip mall, got to where the pin was, and pulled me in front of the store. Let's see if it does it again. So now we're here. It'll obviously tell you that the autopilot is that you've gotten to where your destination is, which is autopilot navigation complete. But it goes slower. So by it going slower, that's okay. I mean, it's just trying to figure out your navigation is complete. But as we're pulling up here, the car is just kind of, it won't even, you know, it's complete. So it's done. That's it. I'm going to pull on and I'm going to disengage here. I'm going to pull over here, kind of just talk to you real quick. Kind of just tell you exactly what, and I wanted to show you something else, but you know what? Let me show you something else while we're here that I noticed. I'm going to push in my home. We're going to go home, right? I'm driving to the parking lot. I have control, but I wanted to show you something that I did the other day as I'm just driving right through this parking lot here a little bit. So I parked over here. I parked in this spot over here the other day, and then so the car itself now, as we're engaged to leave. So what happened was the other day, as it's doing now. So the car, we're still in the parking lot. So now the car, as I engaged it, so now we're going straight over here. We're still in the parking lot. The car's pulling out on its own, pulling up to the stop sign. I just engaged in the parking spot. So the car wants to get onto its own. This is amazing. And as you see, we're getting to the stop sign here. It's got to see all these cars on the left-hand side. You guys can't see it, but there's a lot of cars over here. 50-mile-an-hour cars. It sees that whether or not there's more cars that are coming. Here comes another Model 3 right in front of us. So you'll see it's coming right here. And the cars are approaching quick, fast. So it's waiting. And this is the last car right here. Look at this. That was the last car. Beautiful. On its own. Now you got to get up to speed. Speed limit's not 5, it's 50. There you go. I mean, I don't know. Call me crazy, but in any case, that's what I wanted you to see. Was pulling out of a parking lot and getting onto the main roads again. It didn't park it. That feature's coming, but to put it on while I was in the parking spot and to see that it was getting out of the parking spot is what I wanted. Now, see, this car would have freaked the car out already, would have slammed on the brakes, and it hasn't done it. That's what I wanted to see, you know. And over here, which I found fascinating, is that a lot of us will pull onto like the shoulder and make a right-hand turn, and it did it the other day, but I'm wondering if it'll do it again. So we have to make a right here. It'll put on the blinker, and if there's a lot of traffic, it'll pull off to the side. All right, so we're good. The car feeling natural. Look at this. Naturally, just pull to the right, just go. Before, it would just slam on the brakes. My God. The little things, you know what I mean? They're just the little things. I don't know what else to say. In any case, I'm going to disengage, come over here and talk to you guys real quick, and then we'll end the video, and then I'll head on another video. But I just wanted to kind of give you a feeling of confidence moving with this version and where we stand with this version 12.3, because I am extremely confident in this version. So as we park here just for a second, okay, good. Let me just